anterior surface fascia sternocostalis. This is diaphragmatic surface fascia diaphragmatica, and laterally here and here fascia pulmonalis. Four chambers, two ventricles and two atriums. On external surface, we can see sulcus interventricularis anterior between right ventricle and left ventricle. In diaphragmatic surface, sulcus interventricularis posterior, the same between right and left ventricle. And this groove is sulcus coronarius cordis. It is between atriums and ventricles. On external surface, we can see right auricule, left auricule, and between right auricule and superior vena cava, here it is sulcus terminalis. Chambers. This is right atrium and right ventricle. Here it is left atrium and left ventricle. What opens into right atrium? This is, help me, what is it? Superior vena cava. This is inferior vena cava. And this vessel is coronary sinus, that is proper veins of the heart. Sinus coronarius cordis, it also opens into right atrium. This is opening between right atrium and right ventricle, that is ostium atrioventriculare dextrum, and here we have tricuspid valve. Valva tricuspidalis or valva atrioventricularis dexter. Between right and left atriums we have septum interatrial septum, and this septum has fossa ovalis. It is place where in fetus we have foramen ovale, and after the birth it's closed and we have fossa ovalis in septum between right and left atrium. Now, right ventricle, here it is, we have three papillary muscles. This is anterior papillary muscle, here it is posterior papillary muscle, and this one is septal papillary muscle. And these three muscles gives horda tendinea, which attach to corresponding cusps of the tricuspid valve. For example, anterior papillary muscle attached to anterior cusp, posterior papillary muscle attached to posterior cusp, and septal muscle joined with septal cusps, three cusps in tricuspid valve. And from right ventricle, blood goes into pulmonary trunk. This is beginning of pulmonary trunk, and here we have semilunar valve, valva trunci pulmonalis. And this valve consists of three semilunar valvulae, valvula semilunaris anterior, valvula semilunaris dextrum, and valvula semilunaris sinistrum. Yes, you're right. What else? This smooth surface of ventricle in the beginning of pulmonary trunk has name conus arteriosum. And the same we can see in left ventricle where aorta start, that is beginning of aorta. And beginning of aorta also has semilunar valve, valva aorta. And valva aorta also has three semilunar valvula, but in aorta we have posterior valvula, left and right. In pulmonary trunk, anterior, right and left, and here posterior, right and left. Clear? And in left ventricle, the same smooth surface in the beginning of aorta, that is conus arteriosus. Here conus arteriosus, and here conus arteriosus. All another surface of ventricle on the right side and on the left side, it is rough surface. It has name pars trabecularis, because here we have trabecula carnea. Trabecula carnea. Wall of the heart has three chords. External chord, that is serous, that is pericardium, and pericardium has two layers, parietal and visceral, and this is visceral surface. It has specific name, epicardium. Epicardium, that is visceral layer of pericardium. Now, muscular cord. It is main cord of the heart, myocardium. And myocardium in atriums, it has two layers, external longitudinal and internal longitudinal and outer layer is circular. In ventricles, three layers, external and internal longitudinal and middle layer is circular. And external longitudinal layer on the apex of the heart continues into inner longitudinal layer of opposite ventricle. And from here, this external longitudinal on the apex continues into inner longitudinal layer of this ventricle. Clear? External layer of both ventricles on the apex continues into inner layer of opposite ventricle. And between these two longitudinal, we have circular muscles. Circular muscles own layer of circular muscle for each ventricle, and longitudinal layers, they are common for both ventricles. Inner layer of heart, that is endocardium, and double layer of endocardium, that is duplication of endocardium, that is valves. This is tricuspid and bicuspid valve, and semilunar valves, the same, it is duplication, double layer of endocardium. In left atrium, we can see 4 pulmonary veins, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pulmonary veins opens into left atrium, and blood from left atrium goes to left ventricle through ostium atrioventricularis sinister, where we have bicuspid or mitral valve, and from left ventricle, blood goes into aorta. Why these 4 pulmonary veins has a red color? It is
Oxygen.
yes, because here we have oxygenated blood. And pulmonary trunk, it has deoxygenated blood. It subdivides into 2 pulmonary arteries, this and this, pulmonary arteries. But they have blue color because deoxygenated blood here. And pulmonary arteries with deoxygenated blood goes to lungs. In lungs, exchange of gases, and 4 pulmonary veins with oxygenated blood goes to left atrium. Here, that is all. Some words about preparate. First of all, how to take heart correct. Look here, this is pulmonary trunk, it should be anteriorly. This is aorta. Aorta is behind of pulmonary trunk. This is right auricle. Here it is left auricle here. And this is fascia sternocostalis. This is diaphragmatic surface. This is coronary sulcus, sulcus interventricularis posterior, sulcus interventricularis anterior. This is right atrium, and we can see here this is opening of superior vena cava, and this one is opening of inferior vena cava. The coronary sinus should be here. Look here. This is opening of coronary sinus, sinus coronarius cordis. Now my forceps is in coronary sinus. Septum, just a moment. Septum between left and right atrium has fossa ovalis. This is right auricle, and inside of auricle you can see papillary muscles. They are musculi papillaris. This is surface, or this is inner surface of left ventricle. Here it is right ventricle. You can see papillary muscle. This is papillary muscle. From papillary muscle we can see chordae tendineae, and chordae tendineae attached to cusps. 3 cusps on the right side and 2 cusps on the left side. On the left side only 2 papillary muscles, anterior and posterior papillary muscles, and 2 cusps. This is pars trabecularis, which has trabecular carne and smooth surface in the beginning of aorta or pulmonary trunk, where is this is pulmonary trunk, and here it is aorta. And now this is beginning of aorta. Here it is. You can see smooth surface. This is smooth surface without trabecular carne, that is conus arteriosus. And here it is valvar aorta with semilunar valves. Valva aorta, which consists of 3 semilunar valvulae. In this preparate, here it is absent atriums. We remove atriums and we can see only this is pulmonary trunk, here aorta, this is part of the right atrium, here it is part of the left atrium, this is septum interatriale, and here it is should be fossa valis, but somebody broken this place and we can see foramen navale like in fetus. And here it is tricuspid valve, and on the left side, here it is bicuspid valve. Sulcus interventricularis posterior, sulcus interventricularis anterior, and they join together and make a cardiac notch, incisura cardiaca, and this place that is apex of the heart. In preparation, that is all. Give me your textbook. Heart. The heart, chambers, structure, conducting system of the heart. You read this information yourself. I explained in the beginning of our next classes. Ask me in the beginning, and I explain conductive system next time. And this is blood vessels, not necessary to read. Last, that is conducting system of the heart. That is SA node, AV node, bundle of His, right and left crucial bundle of His, and Purkinje fibers. Well.